Hey, 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 hey. I've been dealing with stuff in my own neighborhood today. And I did see this one yesterday. I was trying to find one of the channels that kind of just like throws some subtitles up, but I looked around and I'm just like, I don't have enough time for this bullshit. So I'm gonna cover Pulpy's version of it. God damn, Chantal.
Go back to Kuwait. I want to eat philos as many times as I can.
Like pastries? Is she talking about phyllo pastries?
I guess. I don't know. She goes through a Greek restaurant.
Is that what she's talking about? No, Raina, we're not pinning the thing anymore. I started playing with pinning the first person in the chat, and then Stephen had a hilarious limerick that I think YouTube might have an issue with. But so we're not doing it today.
This is the reason I don't particularly like to cover these type of react channels, because they're constantly like interacting with their live chat. Also, it's trash day. Let's take out the trash.
So excited to eat it. I love it. It's like a Greek restaurant here in Cornwall, and it's like the best. So yeah, I'll show you what I get.
Chicken bruschetta, rice pilaf, Greek salad, Greek potato, tzatziki sauce.
I mean, it looks fantastic if it was in smaller portions, Chantal.
Effie, that would be a good idea, yes. Today we're going to Chrysler Farm Battlefield Lost Villages, okay? After our sneaky little lunch, I suppose? Lunch? Probably lunch. It's okay, Stephen, don't worry. It was a good limerick, though. It was very good. Good morning, Fluffy. Hello. We've been here before. I feel like we've been here before. I think we might have been here before. Oh, this must be where she parked up and did the haul. Oh, she really is making...
This is the video in which she validates Erie Pepperoni in that she's like trying to make it into a ghost story. Oh my god, I see a ghost. Do you guys remember when she kept saying that there was ghosts living in her apartment in Kuwait, and then just dropped the story like it never came up again? She just comes up with this bullshit because she's following the react channels and trying to copy our stories. And in this case, she's a little over obsessed with Erie Pepperoni, right? The pizza mafia. And Erie has obviously caught on to this and has been talking about it. And so she doubled down.
Everything content. Wow. That's some multi-use. Oh god. Slow down, Chantal. Motion sickness.
Oh god.
We have been... Is this the place... This isn't where she rolled down that hill, was it? No, this is somewhere else. There's like a walking track or something in those trees. I swear, and the river's on the other side of this hill. We've been here before. Yeah. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm just mistaken.
November 11th, 1813.
What happened then, Chantal?
The Battle of Chrysler Farm.
Okay, what are you going to tell us about this?
So one of my favorite places to come is Upper Canada Village area, which is in Mooresburg, Ontario. And yeah, a battle here happened, a pretty significant battle in the
Please tell me more. Let me pull up the Wikipedia.
War of 1812.
Yup.
And this is the way they commemorate it with this this historic site.
All right, I know she's not a historian, and I know she's not particularly interested in like military history or national history or knowledge or trivia or any of that stuff. But I'm still yet to hear like any sense of information. But no, go on.
And
plus, she keeps going to places that are actually closed for the season. So everywhere she goes today is not open. That's why she can't give you a full tour. That's why she couldn't give you a full tour of the bird sanctuary. Everything is closed for the season because these facilities are operating on very small budgets, and they operate during the summer months because they're more likely to get tourists during that time. And they don't have to clear the road of snow. And Gorlick Bread even took issue with that. He's like, because she talks about how the road is normally closed during the winter. And he's like, they don't do that in the U.S. Well, they do. They do it in national parks and places where they don't want to maintain areas during high snowfall. So, for instance, like Yosemite, they closed the Tioga Pass, the pass that goes between the east and the west, between Tuolumne Meadows and Yosemite Valley. It gets closed during the winter because they don't want to have to plow it. They also close the road to Glacier Point. They close the road to the Mariposa Grove. These are areas they don't want to have to pay to maintain during the winter months because there's less visitors during that time of year. Yellowstone closes almost all of its roads and opens it up to snowmobiles. Like, this is a thing. It does happen. But she seems to be specifically seeking out places that are absolutely deserted because she has some sort of fear of people. I don't know if it's real or if it's just part of the persona she's trying to create for her online presence.
10 out of 10 tour guide.
Upper Canada Village is not open right now yet for the season, but it's a place that is like an old historic, village. And they have activities of how you would live.
It's handling the tiny microphone like it's a regular microphone.
In like the 1800s.
So good.
And things like that. And it's very popular for schools in the area to take you there on a school trip to learn about history. But
and if you came to this vlog hoping to learn about history, suck it.
It's nostalgic for me and I love it. And, it's a beautiful...
Oh my god, Lottie, hi.
...beautiful day.
She's not good at foodie history. You're right. She's good at no history.
Windy and cold.
Zero history.
But, yeah, it's just a cool place. If you're really into nature spots, this is definitely a nature spot in
short, the Wikipedia. The Battle of Chrysler's Farm, also known as the Battle of Chrysler's Field, was fought on the 11th of November 1813 during the War of 1812. I think they've got those dates wrong. Mixed up. I'm kidding. The name Chrysler's Farm is sometimes used for the engagement, but Chrysler is the proper spelling. Oh, as in there's an H or not an H. Interesting. A British and Canadian force won a victory over a US force which greatly outnumbered them. The US defeat prompted them to abandon the St. Lawrence campaign, their major strategic effort in the autumn of 1813. Cool. As the dawn...
USA! USA! USA!
Dawn broke on 11th of November. It was cold and raining, though the rain later eased. Firing broke out in 2 places on the river. Mulcaster's gunboats began shooting at the American boats clustered around Cook's Point, while a Mohawk fired a shot at an American party scouting near their encampment, who replied with a volley. Ooh, it's very... This is giving... We could... Hold on. Hold the phone. Let's get really up in there. Half a dozen Canadian militia dragoons bolted back to the main British force, calling the Americans were attacking. The British force dropped its half-cooked breakfast and formed up, which caused American sentries to report that the British were attacking, and forces the Americans in turn to form up and stand to arms. At 10:30 a.m. I'm not going to continue this. But I feel like there is an extremely niche audience who might be interested in Canadian military.
Dude, I was totally listening. Come on, keep going.
Play-by-plays while watching Chantel's face. It's probably a very very niche group.
Ontario, I would come in Mooresburg, Ontario. It's just a beautiful place. It really is, to spend the day. Yeah, there's some geese and a bunch of trees and walking trails and stuff like that. So, yeah, and I'm just enjoying.
Oh, you're trying to grieve the geese that you killed. Oh, because you fetid French fries. All right, let's go.
This area right now. So,
have we been wearing this? No, this is... I feel like we've seen this sweater a lot in the last couple of days. No?
Oh.
Fashion historians?
That's because she keeps filming stuff and then posting it in different timelines so that we don't know exactly when things actually happened. So we have to look for context clues like that. Like, what was she wearing? What was the weather like outside? It's ridiculous because she won't just fucking post stuff in order.
Just look at this beautiful...
Lily, I just saw your comment out the corner of my eye. Why would you type that? Yeah, a reminder to everyone, wear your sunscreen, drink your water.
Just look at this beautiful creek. It's so cool.
Is this a creek?
I guess.
Look at this beautiful creek.
This is a pond. Alright, chat, we're going to spend a couple of minutes on this one. Yell it into the chat, please, because I can't be bothered to organize a, I can't be bothered to organize a poll. This is a pond, ma'am.
Just look at this beautiful creek.
That's not a creek, it's a pond.
It's so cool.
It's a pond. It's surrounded by all sides that I can see.
I don't know, I've just been finding
a creek. It's a pond.
A newfound appreciation for the beauty of the world and nature.
If you're going to learn about the beauty of the world and nature, just use the right words. That's a pond. It's a pond. Oh, Tote says dam. It might be a dam. There might be some beavers up in there. A big puddle.
For real, not...
I think she does kind of bring up something about seeing a beaver, but who the fuck knows? Seriously though, it looks like a pond to me.
Very small lake.
Being corny. Oh, hey. Here's a sign.
A pond.
Let's see what it says.
Oh, dear. What does it say? Battle of Chrysler Farm. See, not spelt with an H. November 1813, an American army of some 8,000 men, commanded by Major General James Wilkinson, moved down the St. Lawrence en route to Montreal. Wilkinson was followed and harassed by a British corps? I never know how to pronounce that. Of observation, consisting of 800 regular militia and Indians, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Joseph Morrison. On November 11, Morrison's forces, established in a defensive position on John Chrysler's farm, was attacked by a contingent of the American army numbering about 4,000 men, commanded by Brigadier General J.P. Boyd. The hard-fought engagement ended with the Americans' withdrawal from the battlefield. This reverse combined with the defeat of another invading army at Chattagao? I read that, but my mind went to Chattanooga. Because there's an old-timey, like, 1920s, 1930s vaudeville song, Chattanooga Junction? No, Chattanooga something. Nougat? No, something. On October 26th, saved Canada from conquest in 1813. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, hold on. The P is silent. It's pronounced core. Core. Thank you, Tish. Appreciate it.
We've been feeding Cooper and...
Oh, there you go. You can pause and read that
Strawberry.
if you want.
Oh, the Chattanooga Choo Choo. That's it. Is it about a train? It's about a train, isn't it? It's not about nougat. Okay. What is Earth? Thank you for being here for 5 months. Earth says, good morning all. Happy to catch you live. G'day. G'day, mate. Thanks very much for hanging out with us. I appreciate the support, and I hope you're having a fabulous weekend. Also, Hammy, I can see you. Hello. Not Chat Nugget.
This cannon.
Say corpse like you say Kniffy.
I hate how these React channels miss things because they're constantly talking over the content and trying to interact with their audiences. But the hilarious thing is that she shows a picture of the sign and says, you can pause that and read it if you want. And fortunately, Pulpy read it for us. Thank you for that. But you totally missed how she was so rude that she was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to fucking do it.
That's not the same word at all. Oh, this is a cannon.
Okay, there you go. A light 6-pounder gun.
She has... Alright, I've said this once, I've said it a million times. Don't make content you're not interested in. Just don't. Dear Foodie Beauty, this vlog is called Visiting My Favorite Places in Ontario, Canada. I can't fucking tell that this is one of your favorite places, honestly. You seem to have absolutely no insight outside of, oh, I really do appreciate the nature, which is all well and good. But, like, take us for a walk. Talk about the trees. Or the ponds, / rivers, / dams, / Man, she could have had a whole 17-minute conversation on the difference between dams, rivers, ponds, lakes, anything. And all it would take would be, like, you know, either a live to talk about it with chat and actually have fun with it, or, like, 5 minutes worth of reading. I don't know. Replica of a Type 6 pounder muzzle. Pounder muzzle loading gun. Guns were measured by the weight of the solid shot they fired. As used both by British and US military in the War of 1812 at the Battle of Christ the Farm. Made out of cast iron bronze, it was also used extensively by both sides for the size of the guns. Bore size, what's that? Is that like the hole in the middle? Is 3.66 inches. It's a range of 1,200 yards. These are all metrics that make no sense to me. With solid shot and 300 yards with grape or canister shot, with a firing range of 2 or 3 rounds a minute. As someone who's not particularly interested in military history, this is not, I don't care. Drawn by 4 or 6 horses hitched to a 2-wheeler limber. Is that the name of, like, what's that? Is that the thing that it rolls on? Doubled as a munitions wagon. A gun crew consisted of up to 15 men plus horse riders.
Which, by the way, these types of historic villages are not all closed during the winter. It depends on how popular they are. Like, I know I've been to some as a child in Michigan. I know Mackinac Island is open in the winter. I know that the Jamestown, I think it's Jamestown or whatever, is it Williamsburg or something? That's like right next to it, and it's got like a Six Flags right nearby. That's open year round, and it's got horse-drawn carriages and caramel apples and all kinds of stuff, and the historic buildings and everything. not all of these little heritage villages, at least in the U.S., are closed year round. They are closed if they don't have enough of a draw to sustain, like, because there is probably an actual entrance fee. Like, for instance, I've been talking about going to the mission, right? The mission of San Juan Capistrano. And so I was looking it up, and it's like $20 to get in. So I want it to be a particularly nice day if I'm going to be doing that, because I don't want it to be overcast and gray like it is today, and tomorrow it's supposed to start raining, and so I'm waiting for another day where we have enough burn off that I can walk around and show you the mission. Especially if I'm going to spend $20 to get in. But it's open year round too. And sure, a lot of these places close down during the colder months because they're going to get less tourism, and they don't want to have to maintain the park roads and stuff. That's just a reality.
And handles. This seems like a lot for a cannon, but okay. Gun was made possible in part by a donation from the Friends of the Christ the Farm Battlefield and a grant from Heritage Canada in 2013, recognition of the 200th anniversary of the Battle of Christ the Farm that took place on November 11, 1813 on the Castleman, Luke's, Fetterly, Atkinson, Haynes, and Books farm. Okay. Work, Diva. Great. Well, now we know. I feel like every time Chantal fucks up a vlog, we learn something. I learned about the battle for Christ the Farm.
There you go.
Huh. Selfie with the powder gun. Kind of cool.
She showed absolutely zero interest in it whatsoever. I don't even think she took the minute to read the little plaque. Because, again, even she finds this boring. And guess what? Your audience is going to find it boring if you don't have any interest in it whatsoever. See, for me at least, Foody's interesting in a, kind of morbid way. But all of the rest of the stuff, I can find interest in it because I like learning about things that I have absolutely no idea about. I didn't know that that's the reason why we call, guns the way we call them, because it's based on the shot size, or cannons in this case, because it's based on the shot size, not, the length of the barrel. I had no idea. Now I know. Well, this...
What is that dragging sound? Is that supposed to be her dragging her left leg? Because it looks like she's dragging her right leg. She can't figure out which leg is actually bothering her. It's very weird.
This is fun. Gotta get back in the AC, quick.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Something just scared the living daylights out of me. I swear I saw someone. I saw a man, and he was wearing old-fashioned, brownish, dark brown, black clothing. Ratty, I swear. In the blink of an eye, he was gone. I'm not kidding. I'm getting the heck out of here.
Yeah, she is the worst tour guide, Lottie.
Yeah.
Okay, I know she's...
I mean, seriously, there is one of the top 10 haunted houses in America is in downtown San Diego, Old Town San Diego. And I took a tour of it, and I was like, okay, let me have my ghost experience. Let's have a good... And nothing happened. I also went to the home of Edgar Allan Poe in Richmond, Virginia, and it was supposed to be haunted as well. Come on, bring on the ghosts. Nothing. This chick seems to make shit up in her head everywhere she goes. But I can tell you, if you go to Old Town San Diego, there is a restaurant at the south side of the street that they make fresh tortillas, and they have a window and they sell them right out of the window. And they also have a restaurant attached that is really good. A fantastic Mexican restaurant. But if you're just looking for a quick snack, they have, oh, so good. So good. These tortillas that they just sell right out the window.
Or the ghost of someone who was in the battle. She's also been here before and spoken about that before, and it was insufferable then as it is now. At least tell that story when the sun's down. Make it like a spooky story time.
Ooh.
I'd be like, sorry, it's like the middle of the day and I think I saw a ghost, you guys. Idiot.
Honestly, I bet you these days, this is the most affordable housing right now. Not even joking.
You have absolutely no idea what people are dealing with all around the world, you absolute nincompoop. I'm pretty sure this is like a set, right? These are like little cabins set up that people are meant to go to and be like, back in 1813, this is what people lived like. Like, I'm sure people would be very happy to live on a tiny little cottage themed in the 1830s with all of this land around them. Anyway.
No, she just wants to make fun of the houseless at all times. And she's also trying to, like, take a jab at the fact that because her credit is so poor, she has to pay first month's, last month's, and a huge security deposit to get anything, which is going to cost her an arm and a leg because she destroyed her credit. Well, that's your problem, Chantel. Fucking fix it, right? But you don't need to make fun of the houseless situation. And you know what, Chicky? If you're having a hard time getting an apartment, why don't you look into the tiny homes? Why don't you look into the tiny homes?
This is like a soldier encampment display.
Uh-huh.
You could have at least given them faces. I don't know. Commemorate some soldiers.
I don't really think putting the visage of past soldiers onto the silhouettes of, like, enactment dummies would necessarily honor the dead, but sure, why not?
Right.
Gosh, it's insufferable.
Selfie with the faceless soldier.
God damn.
All right, guys.
Girl.
So I spent a little bit of time here at the Upper Canada Village and Chrysler Farm Battle Memorial area. And now I'm going to go to another place I love to go that I find is really cool and just a really important part of history in this area. So I will
That's funny, Madison.
show you guys the next spot, which is actually...
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. Are they meant to be the British or are they meant to be the Canadian? That's a good question. I don't know. I'm assuming Canadian because they're on the Canadian side of the river.
No. Back then, the British were fighting, well, if I remember correctly through my history lessons, the Canadian were working with the French and allied to help the Americans achieve their independence. But everybody kept having arguments over land. They were declaring war on parchment and crap. So, no, I don't think that you could... They were a British colony, sure. But at the same time, they were being fought over by the French. Which is why there's a huge province there that speaks French Canadian. It's not even like real French. And they're a little bit divided in their own right, but they do still honor, well, I guess it's not the queen anymore because she passed. It would be the king, and he said he's only going to be in reign for 10 years, which is going to be less than that because he's dying of cancer. So, well, but I digress.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the Canadian military uniform looked like in the 1830s, 1812s, 30s. No, 1813.
All right, guys. So I spent a little bit of time here at the Upper Canada Village and Chrysler Farm Battle Memorial area, and now I'm going to go to another place I love to go.
But Lottie, it would be so much more interesting if it were nighttime. She could play it up for spoopiness.
That I find is really cool and just a really important part of history.
Oh, British. Right. Gotcha. Now I understand. Redcoats in reference to the British. Gotcha. I wonder if okay, hold on. Let me have a look if I can see. Canada soldier 1812 uniform. Oh, here's some things. Great, what's this? All about Canadian history. There is a lot of red. They do look very similar to the British. 41st Regiment of Foot, Canada, 1812 to 1815. Yeah, it's all red coats and some like Union Jackie looking kind of stuff, and then a lot of grey. And what's this? 1812 to 1815, and then there's a whole heap of grey stuff. Some other regiment. I think that Voltigeurs? Voltigeurs. Okay. No, but based on everything I see here, yeah, it turns out some of the Canadian uniform had red coats. There you go. Again, learn something new every day. Canada didn't get independence until 1867. Okay, well that would make sense for the timeline then. I don't know a lot about history. See, Lottie, I appreciate that. They called them redcoats because of the redcoats. Now I get it.
In this area.
But, see, I always thought that redcoats specifically were talking about the British, not Canadians as well. But understanding that Canada didn't gain independence until the 1860s makes a lot of sense.
So I will show you guys the next spot, which is...
Hey, Leonie, good to see you.
Actually reputedly haunted.
One, that's an interesting question. Are Pokemon called what they say, or do they say what they're called? I'm going to say that they say what they're called, because there are certainly some dubs out there, like the Reggies. Come on now. They don't sound like they're saying their name.
Supposedly haunted. I don't know what the right word is, but anyway, I'm going to buckle up and head on there now, and I'll see you guys soon.
Oh, we're going somewhere? Yay! And again, it has been a 7.5 minute vlog. We've been doing this for 25 minutes, and I've learned so much about Canada.
Right.
Oh, we're in the Long Salt. What is this? Chemin du Long Salt. What's that?
All right. So now, to get to the other place, I'm going to take...
Oh, it's the Long Salt Parkway. The Long Salt Parkway is a group of 11 islands west of Cornwall in the Canadian province of Ontario, as well as the name of the 10.1 kilometre scenic parkway connecting them. Oh, that's cool. Wait, what lake is this in? No, river? St. Lawrence Seaway. The islands, which include 2 public beaches and 3 campgrounds, were created by the flooding of the Long Salt Rapids. During construction of the St. Lawrence Seaway, the parkway, the islands, and their amenities are maintained by the St. Lawrence Park Commission. How did we not know about this before? This is cool. Located between the towns of Ingleside and Long Salt. I hope it's pronounced Salt. In the municipality of South Stormont and connect...
Why would you know anything about this? This is like local lore. Why would you know anything about this? It's not going to be in your history lesson. I mean, obviously, this is the type of content she should be doing, but she's just terrible at it.
With the County Road to, sure, whatever. Ingleside and Longsalt were created concurrently with the parkway to rehouse the residents of farms and community that now lie below the surface of the St. Lawrence River as a result of this construction of the Moses Saunders Power Dam. Interesting things that I could have been learning with Foody for like the last 4 years. Wild. Beginning on July 1, 1958 and proceeding for nearly a week, 58,000 acres, or 235 square kilometres of land between Iroquois and Cornwall were flooded, forming an island chain from the hilltops of the inundated lands. Several sites along the parkway pay homage to the lost villages. Interesting. Okay, cool. So these are 11 islands sitting in the St. Lawrence River due to essentially flooding. Well, I mean, purposeful flooding. Damming. Oh, hold on. Everyone's yelling at me. It's pronounced Long Sault. Right, Long Sault. Got it. Thank you.
The Long Sault Parkway.
Oh, so she said it. Okay.
Which is another one of my favorite places to drive down. Now, this is a place that has turnoffs, which are actual camping grounds. So they have the different campgrounds here, like the Milleroche campground and a few others. And
I think she misunderstands what it is to, like, make these vlogs. Because, again, you kind of, like, you could read the Wikipedia article and then you, like, put in your own little personal stuff about where you've been and what you like and blah, blah, blah. But, like, dear Foody, not everyone's Canada. Not everyone's Canadian. Not everyone has an understanding of, like, what you are looking at, where you are, how these places were formed. And that's kind of interesting. I find it really interesting that these are, like, the hilltops of places that are underwater. That's cool.
it's just a very scenic route to take. So
Long Strawberry, that's a good one.
I really love it, and it's on the way to where we have to go anyway, so I thought I would show you guys this nice little area. So here's McLaren Campground on the right. I did used to come camping here as a kid quite a bit.
Okay. I would have gathered that, yes.
Just like in a tent kind of thing, you know. But I loved it, except for the spiders and
Hey TD, good to see you.
the tent in the morning, but there's just something so, like,
I'm going to turn her down, sorry, she's very loud.
I don't know, exciting about sleeping outside and not in your bed, and I don't know, it's cool. So they just opened the park.
When Foody was camping in the winter of Kuwait, didn't she have to sleep in the air-conditioned place? Anyway, whatever. She got a migraine from camping. Who is she trying to paint herself as?
I don't know, it's cool. So they just opened the parkway. I don't know exactly when. It must have been in the last couple of days because I've been checking. So, yeah.
Wasn't it raining a whole heap in the last, week or two? Maybe it was closed because of flooding, because, it's a flooded river.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like it would have been on the news.
I do videos quite a bit at these locations when I'm in Canada.
Lottie has a note. I love that we've moved on from stories about school days to recreating school field trips. That's a fun turn of events. It's terrible.
But for any newcomers,
No.
She totally could have spliced in some of these alleged videos that she's done in the past of these historic locations, but she's just, take my word for it. I go to these places all the time. Okay.
Say it again. For any new cucumbers?
these locations
For any newcomers.
when I'm in Canada. But for any newcomer,
No, newcomers, that's funny.
for any newcomers, I guess it will be new material.
This is new material, and I know you've been here before, but, for me at least, again, there is so much that you could be talking about. So much, but you decided not to. At all. There's an island called Dickens.
There's no B in the word newcomer, Chantal. It's newcomer, not newcumber. We're not a cucumber. We're newcomers. We're not familiar with the lore of Canada. Oh my God.
Island. Named after the inundated village of Dickinson's Landing. I am very immature. Connected to Harriet Island, named for British Army officer Frederick Harriet, by the only other bridge along the parkway aside from the two which connect the island chain to the mainland. The remaining islands are interconnected by causeways. Van Cownet Island is named after Philip Van Cownet, who was instrumental in the building of the Cornwall Canal. Have we seen the Cornwall Canal? Oh, I feel like we're missing out on so many things. So much history, so many things.
It's nice
I'm laughing for that exact reason.
to revisit the places sometimes too. Here we have Woodlands Beach on the right.
Oh, she is just reading out the signs. Okay.
Closed, looks like.
Right.
The trees are still pretty bare this time of year,
And those ones are green.
so
those
things in
ones?
May will start blooming more, and all the leaves will be returning back on the tree.
Do trees bloom? Is that what it's called?
Well, it depends on what kind of tree we're talking about. If it's a tree that flowers, like for instance, I've gone up to Yosemite in April, and that's around the time that the dogwoods bloom. So yes, trees do bloom.
Okay, hold on. So you've got evergreen trees and you've got what are they called? Deciferous? Something. Isn't it two? Is it Okay, but the actual question in this is when you've got trees, they sprout, they blossom. Deciduous? Is it deciduous trees where they have like living and... Okay, it is deciduous. Do trees bloom? Exactly my question.
The jacarandas right around me are about to start blooming. That's why they were around this morning with the work crews trimming off all the branches so it doesn't get so out of hand that we get the purple blossoms all over our balconies and our patios.
Do deciduous trees bloom? Or is it called something else? Do deciduous trees bloom? Many temperate and tropical deciduous trees species flowers. Because that's the thing. Flowers bloom, but what do leaves do? Do they grow? Yes. Trees bloom. The flowers of the trees bloom. But it's not the... So when a deciduous tree goes from winter into spring, when the leaves grow, that's not... Is that blooming? Is that the tree blooming? Or is it something else? Because flowers bloom, but leaves...
No. The leaves sustain the oxygen level for the tree during the months that it's doing that. And it basically goes into hibernation during the winter. But it blooms in the spring. Unless it's an apple tree. Apple trees bloom in the fall. And so that's why the apple harvest is in the fall. Oh my God, Ethan.
Sprout? Bud? That's not blooming. Okay, so that shows she's wrong, first of all. Sorry, Chantal. Do they bud? What's the word? What? Word for deciduous trees. Growing leaves? Is there a noun verb for the process of growing new leaves? Leaf out. Deciduous trees shed their leaves or defoliate. Oh, that's fun. In the fall. What happens in the spring? Looking for words like bloom or blossom, but these refer to flowers, right? Are there similar verbs or nouns referring to the leaves? Leaf out, for a plant to open its leaf buds. Example, most of the bushes leaf out in mid-April. Leaf out seems such an awkward phrase. To open its buds. Seems like something of your favorite tree and shrub have been slow to leaf out or flower this spring. You're right. Leaf out. Leaf out. Leaf out is the correct phrase. That's crazy. Or is it meant to be leave? No, it can't be leave out. It's Leaf. Leaf out. There you go. Look, the English language learners at ell.stackexchange.com has look. There's a whole thread.
Wow, that sounds like a solid source. I mean, seriously, there are trees that bloom. Come on. There's lots of trees that have flowery blossoms on them in the spring, and depending on what kind of trees they are, maybe they blossom later in the season. Like, I think avocados do. I'm fairly certain that apples do, because Julian has their huge apple festival during October. You're just like going to Google and like trying to look this shit up.
Defoliate and refoliate. That's a pretty good one. I need one simple word, and then there's exfoliate, which is something different, and then unfoliate. I love learning.
Trees. As you can see, there's water along either
So anyway,
side.
just so you know, Foody, it's not bloom, it's leaf out.
Right here.
Now we know.
Whatever.
There's people fishing along either side. I hope they catch something.
I thought that was a goose, 2 geese.
I'd love to hear from other Ontarians, like, what you think of Ontario's nature.
Chad, if we have any Canadians specifically, you don't need to be from Ontario, but if you are, please feel free. What do you all think about nature, just as a concept, I guess? Foody's got a weird question for y'all. But Josie, lovely to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for joining once again as a channel member. I appreciate it. But Josie says, want to trade her moldy trade? Tedray? Trade? Moldy cheese curd. Thank you for the message. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. And a pleasure to see you, Josie, as always. Hello.
Do you find it inspiring? Do you find it not so
Oh, taste? Ah, want to taste her. Thank you so much.
nice?
Don't mind me, can't read.
You know, some people think like the trees with
Trade?
like leaves doesn't look the nicest, but
Sorry, Chantal, I got distracted.
do you find it inspiring? Do you find it not so nice? You know, some people think like the trees without the leaves doesn't look the nicest, but you kind of appreciate it for what it's worth. You know, it's a huge symbol of early spring, and
Or winter.
yeah, it's a cycle of life and nature, and
God.
you just start to appreciate it. At least I do, for sure.
She's got nothing to talk about. This is like bottom of the barrel talking points.
So they close the parkway
Honestly, riveting content.
during the winter season, and I don't know when they close it. Maybe late fall. I'm not too sure, but it's definitely more popular to
Probably close for the winter because there's a whole heap of campgrounds and beaches and no one wants to be there at minus 30 degrees. Or if it's snowing or raining.
venture out here in the summer. So it's the most popular in the summer because of the beaches and of the campgrounds. Which is so funny because it's the opposite in Kuwait. In Kuwait, you basically...
Ma'am, Canada and Kuwait are two very different ecosystems. Yes. Climates, yep, the whole environments, the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle. Literally couldn't be any more different. Sarah Love Sam, hello. Thank you so much for gifting 10 channel memberships, mate. I appreciate it.
Oh my god, with all of this bullshit with his having to interact with his fan base. But, okay, so I'm from California, and we have several different climates here. And desert camping generally happens in the fall and the spring. That's out in the Mojave and out by the Colorado River and stuff. we call them the river people because they go out there with their quad runners and shit. And the mountain camping, like Yosemite, Sequoia, Big Bear, anywhere in the mountains, that's going to be happening in the summertime. Because people don't want to camp when it's snowing. It's too cold for that. Unless you have an RV and they're cool with your generator running all night long. Most campsites are not cool with that. With you making noise all night long to keep your heat running. So, the mountain camping is pretty much off limits during the winter. I mean, it's available, but you would have to have like the kind of thermal gear that like professionals use and be really ready for it. Like, you're gonna sleep on a hard ground, it's gonna suck, and you're going to be really fucking cold, even with your thermal bag and your thermal tent. And then in the desert, you do it in the fall and the spring because the middays get into the 70s or 80s, but they're not into the summertime temps that are breaching 100s to 110s to 120s.
I hope you're having a fabulous day. It's lovely to see you today, Sarah. Welcome or welcome back to Linda, Witch of Narnia, Not Sunshine, Country Chickens, Totes, Sweet Jane, Mikkel, Equation. Who else have we got here? Rona, hello. Sage, hello. And Shell. Hello, everybody. Please make sure you all thank the lovely Sarah Love Sam for the gifted subs. Thanks so much, mate. And I hope you're having a fabulous day. Hi.
To camp in the winter because that's when the weather is more tolerable. So it's very opposite to here. Okay, there are geese on the road. Like, what are you doing?
Just being geese, birds in nature.
Look at these guys.
Yeah. They're real cute. There's a gang. A gaggle. Is it a gaggle of geese? Chat?
Yeah.
We're going to get on this one? It's a gaggle. It's a gaggle of geese, right?
Yes, move over. Makes me nervous. Hi, guys. All right, so this is the end of the Longsu Parkway. Okay, I totally thought we were done, but no, it keeps going.
Oh boy.
Why is everything creepy today?
Why are you creepy today?
Wow.
I mean everything creepy today. It's a fucking road, you dingus.
Water.
We're having a windmill moment.
Why is everything creepy today?
Because she's trying to make this into a ghost story. It's so stupid. She's literally doing what Erie Pepperoni said she was doing, which is trying to use her paranormal channel as inspiration for this stupid ass vlog.
Wow, the water.
Yes, it's water, dear. Yeah, water, road, tree, sky. It's all there.
Sparkly sapphire waters. There's a reason, guys, I'm not a poet, all right? Because, you know, sometimes I do some pretty good remixes.
That's a lie. Wow, water, indeed, Lisa. Good to see you. Hello.
All right. We are going to the...
Ennis, she plays I Spy all the time. All the goddamn time. The windmill one sent me. It forever lives in my mind rent-free. Of Chantal just turning her camera and pointing and saying, windmill! I think something's wrong. I think something is very wrong.
Lost Villages Museum, Alt Park. So the Lost Villages Museum, here we are.
Lost Villages Museum, very good. I'm doing it now, it's catching.
All right, guys, so here are the Lost Villages.
This place is closed too. All these places are closed. That's why there's no people there. She can't get into any of the buildings. and she can't actually show us anything because everywhere she goes is closed. Well done. Well done, Chantel.
Which is another historic site here, not too far away. It's in like Lakeview Heights area, along County Road 2, Highway 2, and it's a bunch of buildings that were brought here as a preservation method after they built the St. Lawrence Seaway. They built the seaway so that a waterway so that large ships could pass through.
Aha.
And
Now we're learning.
basically what happened though is that thousands of homes and like dozens of villages were destroyed in the process. So they took some buildings that they could salvage and they brought them here so that they wouldn't be destroyed.
More water, wow.
And so that there's always a memory of these lost villages.
Oh, that's good.
So, yeah. So let's see what we have here.
Okay, before she gets into it, from Wikipedia. The Lost Villages were 10 communities, 9 conventional villages, and a populated island in the Canadian province of Ontario in the former townships of Cornwall and Osnabrück, now South Stormont, near Cornwall, which were permanently submerged by the creation of the St. Lawrence Seaway in 1958. Flooding was expected and planned for as the result of the Moses Saunders Power Dam construction, which makes me think her saying things like they could be salvaged sounds incorrect because this seemed all very planned. No? Was it not planned? In the weeks and months leading up to the inundation, families and businesses in the affected communities were moved into the newly planned communities of Long Sault, and Ingleside. These negotiations were controversial, however, as many residents of the communities felt that the market value compensation was insufficient since the Seaway plan had already depressed property values in the region. Fair. The town of Iroquois was also flooded but was relocated 1.5 kilometers north rather than being abandoned. Another community, Morrisburg, was partially submerged as well, but the area to be flooded was moved to higher ground. In all, approximately 6,500 people were displaced by the project, 530 buildings moved, and countless other homes, schools, and businesses demolished. A portion of the provincial Highway 2 in the area was flooded. The highway was rebuilt along a Canadian National Railway right-of-way in the area. Okay. At 8 a.m. on the 1st of July 1958, a large coffer dam was demolished, allowing the flooding to begin. 4 days later, all the former town sites were fully underwater. Parts of the New York shoreline were flooded by the project as well, but no communities were lost on the American side of the river. There you go, and now you know. I don't know what she's talking about.
Destroyed, and so that there's always a memory of these lost villages. So, yeah.
Iroquois.
So let's see what we have here. This is Molinet Station. I don't think any of these buildings are actually open right now because it's after
I don't think so either, funnily.
hours. But this is a Canadian National Railroad station, was once located at Molinet, Ontario, about a half-mile southwest of this location. Okay. All right, there's some story behind everything, I guess, here.
Haven't you been here? Isn't this one of your favorite places?
Yeah, it's supposed to be one of her favorite places. And these are all historic villages, so I don't know what she's talking about right now.
Moulinet. Let's find out about Moulinet. Underwater ghost town in the Canadian province of Ontario, one of Ontario's lost villages, which were permanently flooded. Yes, we know that. We know that. They moved to Long Sault before the Seaway construction. We know that. We know that. Moulinet was settled in the late 1700s by United Empire Loyalists, who are they, of the King's Royal Regiment from New York. In the 19th century, many pioneering industries and businesses were established in the village. The origin of the name Moulinet is disputed. It's thought to have originated either from the French term for little mill, or as a reference to the many mills located in the village, or from the French word moulinet, meaning reel or winch, as a reference to French ships who navigated the nearby rapids using winches. I like the idea of tiny mill. I like that headcanon a little bit better.
Okay, let's go with that.
Yeah. And over here we have a historic grocery store. Little shops and barns.
Chrissy, it's not just her hometown. She's literally got this in a vlog that says visiting my favorite places in Ontario, Canada. Like, this is your favorite place? You don't know anything about any of these buildings or the places that they come from or the times they're open or if they even open, because this seems like they don't actually open. This seems like they're just kind of locked up and on display. I could be wrong, but...
It's just a really cool area, and it's especially cool to come at night.
So why didn't you come at night?
Because apparently...
Oh, ghosts.
Some say that it's haunted.
Uh-huh.
Because people who were affected by the flooding of the towns are basically underwater.
Again, having just read those Wikipedia articles, the people evacuated. They moved. They were aware. This wasn't just a wake up one morning and suddenly there's water around your ankles. They literally moved 10 villages? 1, 2, 3. Altsville, Dickinson's Landing, Farron's Point, Maple Grove. Oh, Maple Grove sounds nice. Moulinet, sure. Santa Cruz, Sheik's Island, not to be confused with Shrek's Island. There was a place called Wales, okay? That's on the other side of the planet from my understanding. And Woodlands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there were 10 lost villages.
Mm-hmm.
Does she... She's 6, isn't she? No. No, she seems to have a very minimal understanding as to what this is.
People who were affected by the flooding of the towns are basically underwater.
Yeah. Relocated, moved on, some of them, but yeah.
So the vengeful spirits...
Why are there vengeful...
No, she literally probably went on school trips to visit these places, but has absolutely no retention because she's done so much damage to her body, not only through the overeating, but also through the drug use. She's done so much damage to her body that she can't remember what was said on these little school trips when she went to see these locations. Because this isn't the kind of stuff, I don't know, maybe her parents did take her to these places, but I think it's much more likely, especially since it's so closely located to Cornwall, that these were day trip, field trips at her schools, right?
Spirits? Why are there vengeful spirits? The government built a dam and paid people to move. Now, that's a whole other conversation in terms of property ownership, etc., etc. And it obviously seemed a little controversial because the people thought that their land was devalued because the dam was already in construction. But this didn't just happen one day. People didn't die from this, right? Marissa, you're right. Foody's the vengeful spirit in all of this.
Because people who were affected by the
She needs to read the wiki.
the flooding of the towns are basically underwater.
Yeah, but who was affected by the flooding? Because they all got moved out.
So the vengeful spirits upset.
I hope no one died, but I don't think they did. I mean, I can check.
They lost their homes. It was really traumatic for a lot of...
St. Lawrence Seaway. Let me see if I can find, died? Or death? Or anything? I don't know, I don't think so.
Thousands of people. So maybe the person who lived in this home back there might be roaming around.
She didn't expect anyone to investigate this.
Looking to annoy people for his inconvenience in life.
Oh, it has. That's a good point. Someone should tell Foody.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be...
Foody should be told.
Looking to annoy people for his inconvenience in life. Who knows? I'm not going to be here at night to find out, though, because I'm by myself.
You are seriously, just a doofus.
But yeah, I basically love coming here time to time.
Knowing absolutely nothing about the museum or what actually happened with the Seaway. Just talking absolute caca.
Because, I do like interesting history.
Do you?
Uh-huh.
Hey, chat, after just watching this, does this seem like the face of the person who likes interesting history? Oh, Lindsay has a note saying one guy glued himself to the ground in protest. Oh, that's unfortunate. Does this look like the face of someone who's interested in interesting history? Honestly. She's interested in just talking absolute rubbish. Rubbish! Absolute rubbish! Let me see, because I'll need to go back. Please hold. Just need to look at... There it is, the power dam. Background. Demarcation of the St. Lawrence River. Boundary Waters Treaty of 1909. Railway companies.
That's too recent.
27 tons of explosives to demolish the cofferdam that had diverted the St. Lawrence River. Took 4 days for the plant to become fully operational. Yeah, right. Well, I didn't even know that. Yeah, because when Foody talks about hydro, that's what she means, right? Her electricity comes from the hydro power plant, which is connected to the dam on the St. Lawrence River. I had no idea. I'm assuming, based on all of this reading that I'm doing behind the scenes. Fish population.
Yeah, she's overly obsessed with this. This is why she quite literally talked about this in the last live stream where she was at the bird sanctuary. Well, not the last live stream, it was a couple back, where she's like, that's the St. Lawrence River. I'm sure there's a lot of dead bodies in there. At least that's what they told me when I was a little kid. Like, she's overly obsessed with this bullshit. But also, she seems to be picking up on other channels and trying to get content ideas from them. And this is Erie Pepperoni, who has a separate channel to investigate paranormal, right? So she's got a whole other separate channel where she does this. And now all of a sudden, Chantel is like throwing out all these ideas that, oh, there's a ghost in my Kuwaiti apartment. I swear, I don't know how my bathroom door closed. God damn this chick. Holy crap. I can't.
Yeah, interesting. There's upgrades, design operations, so many things. Anyway, Chantel's got... Sorry, Chantel, I didn't mean to interrupt you in your super interest in history.
Here, time to time, because, you know, I do like interesting history about where I'm from. I appreciate it more now as an adult than I did in school. But I love learning about these things. It makes, you know, things more interesting to know that there's history behind everything, right? So it's good to learn.
You need to get a transcript of what you just said and read it to yourself again. Listen to yourself.
You know, things more interesting to know that there's history behind everything, right? So it's good to learn, for sure.
Just word salad and dry mouth.
And yeah, I do like a good spooky story. So there's that element as well. That there's a possibility that it's haunted.
Hold on, just warning. I just need you all to see that. I don't care about the teeth. We'll get rid of the teeth. But just drink your water and wipe your face, okay? Just.
There's history behind everything.
Especially when you're on recorded content, just like take a minute to drink some water and really moisturize.
Right? So it's good to learn, for sure. And yeah, I do like a good spooky story. So there's that element as well, that there's a possibility that it's haunted. And if I see a face in that grocery store window, I'm out here. There's something just seriously so foreboding about this house. I don't know what it is, but like...
Do you know what? If you are gonna... Just a piece of advice, Chantal, if you ever happen to watch this. If you are going to be so lazy to create this type of content, and yada yada reaction channels are lazy, whatever. At least we have some, commentary. Next time you go to create this piece of content and be like, oh my goodness, look at that house, isn't that so foreboding? Like, just get some additional footage, get some B-roll, put some, like, creepy, spooky music over it. Read the Wikipedia, maybe actually find out that no one, like, this wasn't an accident, like, outside of the guy who potentially glued himself to the ground in protest. Like, no one, I don't think anyone, there weren't any, like, massive deaths in regards to the building of this dam. Maybe there were actually deaths in regards to the building of the dam, but not in the flooding that I could read. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Whatever.
I don't want to go up there. It's like, I don't want to go in there. It freaks me. The energy just freaks me out from it. Honestly.
Okay, so far we've been talking about evil spirits and energy, both of which I don't fall into her newly reverted organized religious structure, but okay. Cool, great.
Okay.
Good to see we're really on board with taking that seriously again.
There's like broomsticks in the window.
Uh-huh. Did they sell brooms? It looks like this is a grocer that sells brooms.
Is this where the town witches came to get their broomsticks?
Oh my god.
Haz, you'll have to forgive me. Witches? I'd assume if, like, evil spirits and, like, energy is not necessarily a concept. Witches? Probably not a concept. For Modest Miriam. I don't know. Anyway, okay, great. Brooms. They sell brooms.
There's a beaver carving on the top of the grocery sign. And this here is a barber shop on the left.
Oh my god, stop. She's an idiot.
So you're pooping them out, basically. Yeah.
Yep. Bunnings is staffed by witches.
From it, honestly. Okay. There's like broomsticks in the window.
I'd assume she's speaking on stereotypical witches and broomsticks. But I'm just real confused.
Well, she's also speaking on the fact that she never actually cleans anything, right? So she's not gonna set a broomstick down anywhere where it would be visible to anybody because she never fucking touches a broomstick.
Seems to be a nincompoop. I don't think she's talking about, like, Wicca. I think she's referencing, like, the cartoon concept of a witch with brooms.
Yeah.
She is dense. She's dense. Haz says, we acknowledge that there are people out there who practice magic, but yes, it's against Islam for us to practice. Okay, fair.
This is where the town witches came to get their broomsticks.
She's thinking Salem. Yeah. Yeah, she's thinking wrong.
There's a beaver
Great.
carving
Maybe the beaver wants the broomsticks.
on the top of the grocery sign. And this here is a barber shop on the left.
Okay. Oh my god, do they have, like, razors?
It'd be cool to go inside. I'd have to come when it's open, I guess. I don't really know how it works, even
Oh, barber.
I'm done. I'm done. No, Maya, she definitely doesn't. She has no idea. But fuck if this ain't the dumbest shit I've watched in, like, 48 hours. Take it back. Take it back, Foody. Say it again.
I'd have to come when it's open, I guess. I don't really know how it works, even though I've been here tons of times.
Have you been here tons of times and you don't know how it works? I'm going to go out on a limb without reading the Wikipedia and take a shot in the dark and say that these places are open to things like school groups, community groups, local tours, things like that, and they're probably not open, like, every day. They're probably only open when you've got a tour guide who's able to kind of walk you through and talk about stuff, but none of that seemed to sink in when you were doing this, like, 30 years ago or whatever, and you certainly don't seem to have a sense of like what this place is about as an adult. So you're just kind of...
Yeah, and even if it was operational when she saw it, displayed, where they actually had a barber, working on somebody. She would see somebody getting a haircut, maybe a buzz, maybe a flat top, and potentially getting a close shave. Because the difference between a barber and a cosmetologist is that barbers get licensed to actually shave the face. Cosmetologists get licensed to wax. So there you go. That's the difference. I mean, they both are doing hair removal. They're doing it in different ways with different devices.
Just how do things work? It's a good question, Lottie.
Wow.
An idiot. In short, a numpty. Also, maybe like edit that part out. Big Mac, lovely to see you today. Hello, thank you for being here for 21 months. Big Mac says maybe the beaver wants the broomstick. Oh no! Freezing. Thank you for being
There's
here,
a
mate.
little church, historic church, pretty typical.
Like
A little
magnets, how do
graveyard
they
with, like
work?
4 people buried. Maybe old residents.
I'm gonna say if that was I'm gonna say if the museum was just a movement of the buildings here, I would assume that those are just tombstones and not with people underneath them. But that's an
Yeah.
assumption. Who knows? Maybe not. Wikipedia might know.
Looks like a shop.
That looks like a shed.
And this
There's a bike rail and a signpost and a tree.
reading room. What is that?
You just say reading room. What is that? Like a library?
Greetings, I think.
Yes, I don't know what that is.
Okay, great. Well, she's gonna make my day just so much better. Can't find it there. Let's have a look at Lost Villages. Lost Villages Museum Reading Room. There it is. This single detached brick building with a mansard-style roof was originally built for George C. Forbes as a reading room or library. Fuck, who'd have thought? For the village of Newington in 1901, this building, one of the most historic buildings in the township of South Stormont, constructed as a public institution, the Forbes Memorial Reading Room was given as a gift to the community of Newington in the name of Mrs. Peter Forbes, or Isabella, mother of George C. Forbes. And there's even a plaque on the front of it that says, The Forbes Memorial Reading Room, 1901.
Mm-hmm.
Chat, honestly, if anyone...
Yeah, but she was unwilling to walk up to any of these buildings and read any of the plaques.
If anyone in the future finds this after expecting Foody's travel vlogs, tourism vlogs, travel guide vlogs, whatever you want to call them, were well-researched or had any point to them, no, they did not. No, they did not. And she's actually the worst. The worst. The worst.
Huh. And I think someone actually lives in this house.
Okay, well, what looks like the air conditioner or heating unit on the outside makes me think that, yeah, you're probably
Okay.
right.
Oh no, it's a historic site as well. There's a plaque on the building.
Maybe that's like the office where the tour guides, like, operate from or something.
Huh.
Probably.
I don't know.
Next time I come, I'll make sure we can go inside.
Okay, well, maybe, like, call ahead next time. That might be a good idea.
Anyways, guys, that's
I get compliments anytime.
video. I hope you really enjoyed this vlog. I really
I did not. I really enjoyed, like, learning about some of the history about it all, but you were terrible.
enjoy making them. It's
As a guide, awful.
peaceful for me, therapeutic, and I love sharing these things with those of you who appreciate it. So yeah, if it's not your cup of tea, I understand.
Again, if you're going to proclaim these are some of my favorite places to go and then have absolutely no fucking idea, then you must be Foodie Beauty. Okay, chat. now that we're moving on from the worst tour.
This actually is my cup of tea, Chantel. So why are you blowing it so hard? You can watch some of my day trip videos and get some ideas. I actually read the signs. I'm not fucking off like you do, talking about childhood memories without no relation to what we're dealing with. Oh, I used to camp in this place that I'm not going to show you. Okay. I mean, you have no childhood memories of camping. You have no memories of these villages. You are unwilling to read the historical signs to give us even the basic info of what's going on in these little villages, historic heritage type villages that are right along the American Canadian border, right? But there you go, fucking up another vlog.